Remarkable Wrestling Podcast. What the world is watching. And hello, everybody. It's time for another edition of the Remarkable Wrestling Podcast. And if you're watching, say hello. Eventually, I do want to film a really cool intro for the Remarkable Wrestling Podcast on 1980 style, where it's like, hey, we're going to be talking about all the collectibles and all the memories and all the stuff that makes us professional wrestling fans. This is such good shit. Look at that little pipsqueak. Look at that from the WWE fan club. Ultimate Warrior wristbands. It was like, you like wrestling? I was like, hell yeah, I do. It was Lumberjack Jim, my made-up wrestler. Think Hacksaw Jim Duggan, just Lumberjack.
Did you use a backbreaker in a fight at Grand Oaks?
He runs a promotion during his lunch break. Dude, that what cracks me up. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Remarkable Wrestling Podcast. I am Boom Boom Brandon Oliver, and since I'm not able to run RCW shows, I've started up this wacky little podcast just to have a little fun. And I just want to thank you all for joining us today. You can see my wall of markdom behind me. And, these are all the things that combine us as wrestling fans and being influenced by many of the greats in professional wrestling. And I don't know if you can tell, but my T-shirt, this was from the WWE Hall of Fame. And it has, indeed, the Von Erich family. And so for those of us here in Texas, we know, what a super big deal it is to have, the Von Erichs. I mean, we grew up watching them. You remember the rabid crowds at the Sportatorium and just all over Texas and the war with the Freebirds. And, I mean, they're just Texas royalty. So a couple years ago, while promoting shows, and I heard that they existed, and I wanted to see them. I got to see these two guys in action, Ross and Marshall Von Erich, and I'm going to show you a picture of them real quick. And so Ross and Marshall Von Erich, who are young guys, incredibly good shape, naturally, like they're like the Von Erichs that preceded them. And I mean, they just tore it up. They were absolutely fantastic. And so I stuck, I managed to get I think a good friendship with these guys and brought them in for some other things and other shows. And again, time and again, the Von Erichs are Texas. And they do such a good job. So I want to bring them on right now. Ross and Marshall Von Erich. Guys, how are you? Yeah.
What's up, man? You are a good friend of ours. We just wanted to
beautiful intro, by the way.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And guys, thank you so much for taking your time out to do, this podcast. I know you guys get hit up all the time, probably gajillion times a day. For podcasts, but I really do appreciate you guys coming on. And this is a different podcast. We don't do so who trained you, and who is your favorite wrestler, and
all that boring stuff. Yeah.
this is we're gonna do some fun stuff here. But first, I want to find out because you guys are in Hawaii, right?
Yeah, correct.
And I mean, I've never been to Hawaii, so I can only visualize it in my dreams of this total, complete paradise. What is Hawaii like right now in November of 2020?
It's really almost like how you dream.
It's not far from that. The weather's beautiful. Even this time of year, we have our winter is kind of just a rainy season. So,
but it still gets sunny and rainbows and stuff. It'll rain for 10 minutes straight, and then you'll see a big fat rainbow, and it's sunny, and then start raining again. It's definitely a great place to call home, and it's hard to be in a bad mood.
Yeah, especially coming from somebody who didn't really appreciate beauty, I guess. I guess in the world, coming here, it's just kind of hard to ignore the mountains and the ocean, everything. It puts you in a right frame of mind for sure.
I appreciate your beautiful face.
I mean, I could only imagine. And we do have already fans watching, and periodically will bring their comments up to the top. Danielle Jordan, she's a sweet young gal here in San Antonio. She says the
Oh
Von
yeah,
Erich
you know
are
her.
the best.
Danielle, you're awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
she's
you.
awesome. She came to all of our RCW shows, and she's
Yeah,
always
that's right.
Yeah, you
awesome
awesome.
supporter. Yeah.
Abel saw them at Rotama Park. They're badass.
You're the man. That's awesome.
Thank you guys.
Richie Dominguez, so a quick story about Richie Dominguez. This guy is in charge of the Wounded Warriors Center here in San Antonio, and so he
Right on, my
supports
friend.
us a
That's
lot.
awesome.
That is
And
awesome.
and he says the Von Erichs rule, and hell yeah, the Von Erichs rule.
No, you rule,
Yeah,
man.
man. You're the
awesome.
man. I appreciate. That's awesome, man.
Supporting the true heroes.
All right, so guys, you know, I know right now y'all are in MLW, but I think MLW has been on a break, correct?
That's right. We just had the restart, but you know, we would love to get back to RCW as soon as possible. As soon as
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to say on the site, we had one of the best times at your show when we went, and it was just, we've been wanting to go back ever since. You know, this pandemic, you know, is kind of putting everyone in a weird spot. You know, once things get up and rolling again, man, we had a great time. Love the people, San Antonio, man, good stuff.
Yeah, we didn't know San Antonio was gonna be such like an awesome place, and already have awesome stories there. We love it there. We love each person that came out and watched. And now I don't know. It was just a time we'll never forget.
What do you think it was going to be like?
I don't know, like what's it called? Like the first time in Japan when nobody made a noise.
No, we were genuinely surprised. People knew us and supported us, and that was the most. That was like the most humbling thing to us. Like people know us still, and it's amazing.
And one of the things that you guys told me, and it stuck with me at one of the shows, was someone told you you have to work San Antonio. Who was that someone?
My dad. My dad. We were doing our Texas loops after Japan, and we were doing a lot of shows in Texas, and then he asked us, "Y'all work San Antonio?" And we're like, "No." And he's like, "That is one of the hottest towns." He said, San Antonio and Dallas are like together." He said the people are just passionate and they love Von Erichs. And so we didn't know if it was still going to be like that. And then we went over there to one of your shows, and it was just awesome. Plus, we got to one of our matches. We got to work with one of the Steiners, so that was pretty sick.
Oh yeah,
Steiner. That was definitely. Any stories with Steiner in that event? Like any?
I think he said about 3 words.
You know, I was expecting a little bit more fireworks, with like behind the scenes stuff. But he's a really cool guy.
Yeah,
it was awesome. Man.
Yeah, he's actually really professional and stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't get like a wedgie or anything. Or I thought
nothing too weird happened. So yeah, we're happy about that.
All right, yeah, but that is very cool, and I'll never forget you guys telling me that Kevin, your father, told you that, and yeah, that's it. They're right. I mean, you guys are wrestling royalty here in Texas, without a doubt.
That means so much, man.
Yeah, that's just hard to take in.
It's something that we know we didn't earn that. It's from the family that we came from, and that's why we just try to honor it, by trying as hard as we can.
Yeah, I mean, our only option, in response to that is just work our butts off, and for everybody that. If there was one person in that stadium that supported us, like you just want to pour your guts out for that one person. And there's a lot of people, and it's just an amazing experience.
It's been like that. There has been one person only in the crowd.
Literally one person.
Yeah. All right, we got to give them everything we got.
Come on. Not here anyway.
Yeah,
not
here.
Yeah. But no, you guys are doing great. Like I said, you're doing well in MLW as well. And we'll definitely see you again. And, whenever all this stuff, quote unquote, returns back to normal, I don't want you guys to fly all the way to Texas, and then they tell you, oh well, Texas is one of the states that's quarantined or something.
I know. Yeah.
I'm surprised.
You got to stay here for 14 days.
That wouldn't be the worst.
Of all places, Texas would be the place.
That's right. But I know you guys have families and things like that, so just wait till it gets back to normal, whenever that is. So one of the things that we talk about in the Remarkable Wrestling Podcast is things that you've collected, and I definitely have had fun doing RCW and being Boom Boom Brandon Oliver and all the other stuff. And so I've kept some of the things. Like, for example, I always point this out to the guys. This is the guitar that Jeff Jarrett smashed over my head, and I'm like,
you got to keep that? That's sick. What an honor. Dang. That's awesome.
and the way I look at it is, it's either going to be trashed, right? After the show's over, everybody cleans up. And I'm like, you know what, man? I'm going to have Jeff, sign it real quick.
That was the smartest thing you could have done, man. That's awesome. You remember that? That's a conversation starter when you bring somebody over your house.
Yeah, so
like, no, my face does.
and one thing, guys, that we always sometimes talk about on here is being in wrestling. I'm sure you've felt it in locker rooms and stuff where they're like, "Oh, brother, don't be a mark, man," like as if they just kind of fell into wrestling, without any sort of inspiration or any sort of thing to get them interested in professional wrestling. And I'm always like, well, that's like and I've heard it in locker rooms, but that would be like being an NBA basketball player and it'd be like, no, I wasn't influenced by Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant.
I know. That's so true. And there's been times where I've passed up on that opportunity because I didn't want to look like a mark or whatever. And then I was like, shoot, I haven't seen that guy in like 3 years now. And in my small experience, there's been a few guys that have said they've like looked up to us and stuff, and that always makes my day. So now I take the opportunity. Like, we saw Sting and I was like, screw this, I don't care if I get in trouble. I was like, I love you.
I know. Awesome. I know some people try to be too cool and just, you got to be real sometimes. Hey man, you're a big influence, when we had a little thing with NWO one time, and we grew up during the Monday Night Wars, the Attitude Era and stuff. And so Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, X-Pac, or NWO is just like, that was surreal being in the ring with them. And we were just like, man, we were, big fans our whole life growing up watching you. And it's just an honor to finally meet you. We always try to make a point to tell people.
And then they did give us wedgies and picked on us and stuff. But it was awesome because it was an NWO.
That's funny. All right. So guys, one thing we do here in Remarkable is show and tell, basically. And so what are some of the things that you've kept, either during your career or before it? What are some of the things that you've held on to?
3 years after. So one thing, there's two things. One of the things I got left at my house, but from our debut, we like to, like, kind of like you, like, find something that's going to help you remember that day forever. And so our debut in Japan at the Kirken Hall, there was some, it was right before we came out, right before our match. We're outside and we found a broken rock on the ground, and when you put them together, they matched up. And so I kept mine. Here's mine. And then there's Ross's.
Check this out, everybody.
And we didn't know this, but it makes it hard.
It actually makes it hard. This is not a work, everybody. This is real.
That's funny.
Makes it hard.
Yeah.
I like it.
One day we're old and like we're like 60. We're gonna have necklaces. I'm gonna have mine.
Yeah.
He's gonna have his.
How adorbs. I love it. The brothers got the heart that come together. I love it. That's fantastic.
The other thing was this wrestling fan a long time ago. I don't know what he was into, because we had fans like send us trunks and stuff before. But this guy sent us a pair of trunks that were way too little, like a
little more thong.
Had a thong vibe to it. And so as a deal with each other, because we keep each other accountable if we ever forget our gear or whatever. But whoever forgets their gear, we always bring that pair of trunks just in case.
And I actually had to wear them in one match before, and he thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
but,
it was humiliating for him. It was funny at first, then I started getting embarrassed too, and I was like, "Oh man, just."
He's embarrassed to be seen. Yeah, you got to be seen with me. You got to be my partner.
Horrible. I should have brought those.
and so that is conveniently left somewhere. You don't have.
They're actually upstairs in my bag right now. But yeah, I mean, I'll spare you the visual, but it's just a little more skimpy than your average pair of trunks. Let's just say that.
That's right. And then I mean,
one more thing.
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay.
Let's take a look what you got here.
Oh yeah, my dad's got a whole cabinet right over here of all of my uncles, and himself, you know, and his action figures.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Oh, here we go. He's grabbing them all right now.
Yours is upstairs.
Mine's upstairs. Right
There's another one of you. So some of these were some fans have made, except for these. These are my dad and my Uncle Kerry. I think a lot of people have seen these. And since we're not adults at this house, so we took them out of the box.
We played with them pretty hard. We took them out of the box. We couldn't resist. We just had to make them, you know, crash and wrestle each other.
And then a fan made this. I think it's Cody Rhodes' face, but it's Ross. So it meant action figure.
I appreciate the effort.
Yeah,
did that. It's a huge honor.
It was really well done. And unfortunately, I had a Clippers accident last night, and my beard came off. If you haven't noticed, but this was me when I had my beard. There he is, right there. It kind of looks Amish now that I look at it close.
Yeah, Amish.
That's awesome. And I imagine, I can't even imagine. I know you were just talking about, you know, that case that your father kept in the background. I mean, there's got to be some incredible stuff in there.
Oh man, if it was lighter, I could show you. He's got all the Hall of Fame rings, you know, just souvenirs he's collected through the years. There's so much history.
He had the original world class heavyweight championship belt, but then he didn't donate it. I guess Israel's holding it right now, and we'll probably
Israel. They did a grand opening for a store over in Israel, and as a favor, he donated to them for like a year, so it's over in Israel right now.
All right. Abel asked, how'd y'all end up in Hawaii?
Okay, so as you know, we have a pretty, you know, vibrant history in Japan. And my grandfather used to go, I think he was going every month for about 6 years for a while there at the beginning. And then my dad and my uncles were going. So Hawaii was just a layover spot. You know, they'd stay there, get some food, and, you know, pretty soon their layovers started getting, okay, let's just stay 1 or 2 days extra here in Hawaii. And then I guess between my dad and his brothers, it was always their plan eventually to retire and go to Hawaii, you know. And so my dad ended up, you know, he's the only one. But, you know, that was the plan all along. My grandfather, my uncles, they were all going to come over here when they retired.
They were going to go right before my grandfather passed. They were my dad and my grandfather were going to go, and then my grandfather unfortunately got brain cancer. But it's always been like a thing to remind each other of, you know, like when this is all over. And, you know, at one point, my dad, he just said it became kind of painful, you know, because they would write each other notes in the turnbuckles like, hey Kev, hey Kerry, hey Dave, and you know, 4 or 5 years after they're gone and you're hitting that turnbuckle, seeing that, he said it's because he was young. He's not bitter at wrestling anymore, but at the time he was like, he was starting to grow like into a bitter person, and he was,
you know, and we grew up about 2 miles away from where my family grew up. And so, you know, there's all these things that they're reminders and stuff.
We played in the same field as kids as they did, you know, swam in the same ponds, played, you know, it was.
Well, yeah, we had the same upbringing, exactly. Same childhood, same location and everything. So, you know, I can only imagine, you know, what memories could be, you know, going through all that. And so, you know, my dad, I feel for him. He needed a break and needed some distance, I feel like.
I got to put these action figures away. I can't stop playing with them. I knew that would happen. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys. So one of the things we like to do here, and I'll give them a second to come back, is we like to play games here on Remarkable Wrestling Podcast. You know, I'm a huge Jimmy Fallon fan. I don't know if you ever watched Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Nice.
He's
Yeah.
fun.
So you notice, like, whenever he brings on guests, I mean, of course, they always, you know, promote the next movie or whatever, but he gets to do some sort of game, and it just makes it a little bit more fun. So I was like, all right, well, I got 2 guys, and I think it's fitting because you have the little 2 halves of the heart. So I was like, why don't we play a game of how well do you know your brother? And unfortunately, I don't have any audio. I should have gotten like a little theme song, like you know.
Yeah.
And next week, come on, we expect that.
I'm sorry, I dropped the ball on that one. I dropped the ball.
There's no way that Ross can get in my head. There's no way he knows what I'm thinking. Let's see.
All right. So how well you know your brother? What we'll do is, do each of you have a piece of paper and a pen? Or
We do.
How convenient. Yes.
All right, so
we do right here.
All right. So, you know, promise not to cheat and look over each other's shoulders. You
No
might have
cheating.
to So we're going to ask, the first question is, what is your brother's most annoying habit?
Oh, that he does?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, your
Can I just
brother.
answer right on? Okay, fine.
No, because the other one has to guess it.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's good.
Man, he's not gonna remember this one, but this might be new news to you, honestly. But
What?
yeah,
Oh, well, it's a brand new annoyance.
yeah. It's a therapy session right now.
Yeah.
Hey, we should have a timer, Marshall. Come on.
Okay.
3, 2.
Hold on. Oh, you can't read this.
Well, all right.
Hard to read.
All right. So the first question is, what is your brother's most annoying habit? Ross, let's start with you. What did you think your brother said, though? What
You're
did
gonna
you
guess
think?
my picture.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
you
gotta.
got-
Thanks,
yes.
though.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it.
Yeah,
His handwriting's
you have to-
terrible.
Okay, he probably thinks it's annoying that I always make him eat healthy food because he didn't like healthy stuff. So
That is annoying. That's true. But I put he always, when he loses his wallet all the time.
I lose everything. It's true. I can't argue with that. My wallet's lost right now, actually.
Especially if we're in a different like country trying to get home. I say, you have your passport, and he's like, oh shoot, it's always like a panic attack.
I'm like following through the airport, basically. I don't even know what's going on half the time. I'm just like,
All right.
along for the ride.
So Marshall, your turn.
Okay.
What do you think he said is your most annoying habit?
Maybe I love too much. I love too hard, or I don't know. I bite my arm hair as a nervous tick.
That's another one.
Yeah, I do this a lot. I'm pulling out my arm hair. It's a real weird thing that I do. I don't know why I do it.
All right.
What'd you put?
I went with snoring on this one.
Oh yeah.
He always falls asleep before me. Like they always make us share the same room, and then he's the next bed over. But there's no getting away from that sound of him snoring.
I don't know what the actual medical term is, but I think I have that thing where I choke really loud in my sleep.
Sleep apnea.
Yeah. I think I have that.
You're gonna have to get one of those Darth Vader masks pretty soon.
Cool.
Cool, right?
To go to sleep with. All right. So next question. And by the way, fans might recognize these because I lifted them straight from WWE Legends House. But anyway, I was watching it. I was watching it, preparing for y'all. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use these.
It's working.
So ugly, ugly, ugly. That's all I think of when I see my brother's what? And naturally, it's like the Newlywed Game. So you're like, oh, there's a little innuendo there. But it's a family show. So
I got this.
Okay, it's a family show. Okay. Thanks for pointing that out. Okay. Okay.
Ugly is something I think of when I see my brother's what? And it's a family show. Just like the Newlywed Game.
Okay, I got to read.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Just not about time earlier. Look at you. I'm ready to go.
Okay, go ahead. You go first.
All right, you go first. So what do you think he said? What do you think that he said? Yeah, what do you think he wrote?
I think this is probably an easy one. He's known for not having the prettiest feet, so I would say he's got, I'd say feet.
Yeah. I was talking about his feet. There's a reason why Ross wears boots, but yeah, he saw it.
Oh, shoot.
There's a reason why Ross wears boots.
Yeah, hey, we got that one. That was good.
We got that.
And so what do you think Marshall wrote down?
Okay. What does Ross thinks as annoying or ugly about me?
Yeah.
I'm a terrible loser. No, I didn't play something physical. It's like an attribute.
Yeah, okay. A physical attribute.
Could it be my feet? I mean, my feet are disgusting. Feet.
I wrote feet.
What?
I wrote feet.
Oh, he's in bad handwriting, but he wrote feet. Perfect.
And you're the one that wrestles barefoot, correct?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm just more ashamed than he is.
Well, that's okay. Not all the Von Erichs,
we're not known for our feet. I mean, having feet.
Yeah, we use them. Okay, and they look like
they look like they were used.
All right, the next question is easy, but again, it's a family show.
Okay.
What is your brother's favorite thing to eat?
Okay, this is pretty easy. We do this one a lot.
Okay. Oh yeah, easy. This is like 90% of what we do when we're on the road. So
let's see if we really can guess this.
All right. Let's see.
Okay.
And so, Marshall, what do you think Ross put?
For me, so anytime we go anywhere, the first thing I look for is the nearest Arby's, and so I'm pretty sure he wrote Arby's.
Oh,
Perfect.
Arby's.
Yeah, there you go.
Arby's. There you go.
Okay.
really good, really good. All right. And so, and now, what do you think he wrote for you?
I think I usually just go along with him, and I'll stomach some Arby's, but my actual favorite is sushi.
Oh, shoot. I got it right.
Oh my god.
Man, you guys, all right. Now the heart's coming together. Makes
Yeah.
complete sense. Yeah, you guys are doing really well. All right. So this next question, again, family show here. Although there's probably ways you could say it differently, but uh, what does your brother wear to bed?
Oh,
What does your brother
mine's
wear
easy.
to bed?
Oh, yeah, I think.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the easy, obvious one.
All right.
I
And sometimes
was talking about this last night.
oh, you were okay. So perfect. You're,
Yeah.
right on topic here.
Okay.
All right. So Ross, what do you think Marshall wrote down?
I think he wrote down boxers. That's gonna.
Oh, shorts. I wrote down shorts.
Okay.
But-
All right. So you get a half a point there. Yeah.
Half point. Okay, I'll take that.
All right. And Marshall, what do you think Ross wrote?
Okay. Well, yesterday I told him that I don't like to. I'm worried about intruders coming to my house because I get hot in my sleep, and so I like to sleep with the least amount of clothing. Sometimes none at all. And so it's been.
You know, I should have gone with my gut and said what I really knew, which is nothing.
But if I expect a busy night, I'm gonna wear boxers. So I think you wrote boxers.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said kids show, so family show, so
Family show. Yes.
I thought
yes.
I'd clean it up just a little bit.
I mean, I guess you could say nude, and that would be okay.
Dude, yeah. Okay.
I don't know why I sweat so much. I sweat more in my sleep than I do when I'm like up. So it doesn't make any sense. I have to do like no blankets, no sheets.
I think it's the apnea, man. You got to get that mask.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Probably is.
Golly, this guy's got
I'm
problems.
gonna make a doctor appointment after this.
All right. What does your brother need the most? A personal assistant, a personal trainer, or a personal
Got it right
chef?
there. He needs all three of them. Okay, let's see this. You got a piece of paper right up?
Should I write what I need, or
You write what you think.
The other brother,
Okay.
and tries to guess it.
Don't say true love, okay?
I was gonna say. I was gonna say true love. Oh man.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I really was.
Oh boy.
Okay, so. Let's see.
Personal assistant, personal trainer, or personal chef?
Dang, I'm like
So,
all
so
of those.
out of those three, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, one can be all of the above. I mean, that would be fine too.
Interesting, because I pretty much do all that for Marshall when we're on the road. I'm like cooking for him. Okay, we're working out now.
All right, so
if I didn't have him, I probably wouldn't work out. I really would.
so on that note, Ross, what do you think Marshall wrote then?
What I think, like an organizer, probably. I don't know, like
Yeah.
a life
Personal
counselor,
assistant.
a personal assistant. Okay,
Life-
yeah.
He needs a life coach.
Yeah.
And so, Marshall, what do you think Ross wrote?
Probably a personal trainer because he pretty much.
If I just
trains
had
me.
to pick one, then
he trains me and food and what'd you write?
I think we got full points on
Okay,
that
there
one.
we go.
Oh
Personal
man,
trainer.
you sure did.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Golly, very good. I mean, it's kind of ironic though that the Von Erichs need a personal trainer. I mean, you guys look great.
You know, he's
Boy.
he's got the genetics, but I think he depends too much on that, and sometimes he just lets him. I mean, Arby's and all that stuff. You gotta try a little,
I love me some fast food.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, we got 3 more questions. If I give your brother $1,000 in cash, what would he buy with it? What would your brother go buy with $1,000?
That's what I thought. Okay.
What would your brother? Yes. What would your brother buy? Actually, there's 2 questions left. There's that.
That's probably really hard for me because I buy some random weird stuff all the time. I go through phases. I bought a 50cc Harley motorcycle, but it's 50cc, so it goes like 10 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour. It sounds like a moped. And it was cool for about a week.
All right. So what would your brother buy with $1,000? I think Ross is still writing.
Okay.
All right. All right. So Marshall, you go first. What do you think Ross put down?
What would I buy?
What would I buy?
Yeah, it'd be what Marshall buys. Yes.
Okay. Oh, not what I think. What I think he wrote for what I would buy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think Ross thinks that I would spend $1,000 on. I just buy such random stuff all the time.
Exactly. What do you call when you're just impulsive and you spend stuff on?
I don't know, like junk.
Yeah.
I buy all kinds of junk.
Oh man, junk/junk food. There we go.
Whoa, dang! I promise, I'm not seeing what he's writing either.
This is weird. We're learning a lot about each other right now.
All right,
We're
Ross.
just confirming things about each other.
Ross, what would Marshall say you would buy with $1,000?
Just given the last month or so, he probably thinks that I would buy I'm always buying stuff for my truck, fixing up my truck and stuff. So don't tell me.
Yeah,
truck oh my God!
Dang, that's good.
I don't think y'all have missed one yet.
I think now we got momentum, and now we're feeling.
We're not cheating either. I'm writing right here.
Yeah.
All right, and then all right. So last question. This is the last question. What is something that your brother can't live without? So you're gonna write down what is something that you think your brother couldn't live without. So Marshall, what could Ross not live without? Ross, what Marshall not live without?
This is a family show, right? Okay, let's see.
Okay, I'm gonna say what I think you can't live without, right?
Yes. Yeah. Ross, you say what you think Marshall couldn't live without. Marshall, you say what you think Ross.
Believe it or not, he's like the least materialistic guy I know. I
basically live out of my bag.
Yeah, we'll go on trips and dude, you didn't bring a jacket or short or pants or anything. I don't know what he's thinking when he was packing.
I don't even unpack when I get home. I just live out of a suitcase.
I always pack 2 jackets so he has an extra jacket because it's 40 degrees there. Of course you need a jacket.
Right.
Well, I don't know what. Maybe here's what he wouldn't live without.
Me? I'm just kidding.
You gotta write that. Okay, let's see. I change it now.
Marshall can't live without.
Yes, indeed.
Let's see.
And again, we have Ross and Marshall Von Erich, the 3rd generation Von Erichs, now turning up in MLW.
Try not to look.
Okay.
I can't read your handwriting anyway.
All right.
Makes 2 of us. Okay.
All right. So Ross, what do you think Marshall said that you couldn't live without?
Man.
You need that suitcase.
Yeah. I would say he thinks I can't live without his guidance. I don't know. I think he thinks I need him more than I do need him. I don't know.
He needs me.
Yeah.
He needs me.
Are you kidding?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say suitcase.
Yeah.
All right.
Same.
All the pressure's on right now.
And,
What do you guys say?
yeah, it's all. Yeah, this is it. So Marshall, what do you think Ross wrote down? Something that you can't live without.
While on the road, that's kind of the category. This might be wrong, but I carry a fanny pack with me all the time. I don't know if it's fanny. Is it a fanny pack?
It is a fanny pack.
Is it? You wrote a fanny pack?
No, I should have wrote fanny pack. I said Uber Eats.
That's good too, though. I need Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too.
No, that's included in the fanny pack. Your phone, your wallet.
Right.
Especially during this COVID time, Uber Eats has been
I like how you're sticking up for each other. That's awesome. There was 20 points on the line or something like that.
Wow.
Go ahead and give us a half point for that.
All right.
It was worth a try.
All right. So again, that was how well do you know your brother? Maybe in post production, I'll include some sort of little audio track like dun 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 dun.
Oh, nice.
I'll include some.
80s style.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Some of the fans are still writing in. Stephen Antonio said, "Talk about brotherly love."
Yeah. That's cool. Is he from San Antonio? Stephen
I don't know.
Antonio?
Stephen Antonio, are you from San Antonio? Let's see if
What
what
to
he
say?
said.
That's like a perfect match if you are.
Someone said, "Jen is gonna kill you, Marsh." Is it
Uh-oh.
Brent Stein? Do you know
Oh, that's
Brent?
a good. That's a buddy of ours. Like, uh-oh.
I was like, man,
What did I do wrong to a
yeah.
Jen?
Let's see. Um, lots of people asking, you guys are funny and things like that. Timothy Gonzalez says, would love to see you in AEW one day. And I think that may have come up with the Cody Rhodes / Ross Marshall, Ross Von Erich action figure.
I saw something. Yeah.
The hashtag Rhodes versus Von Erich.
No, he's talking about the action figure with Cody Rhodes' face
yeah.
on here.
Yes, yeah. So, I mean, is that something?
Someone, believe it was Dustin Rhodes, tweeted a few months ago a match he wants to have is the Rhodes brothers versus the Von Erich brothers. And, who knows in the future, we'll see. But right now, we're really happy at MLW. They allow us to work with other promotions and stuff. So we're pretty happy with where we're at. But you never know. Never say never.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Maybe the Rhodes brothers will come down to MLW.
I don't want to get my hopes up. Was that Kevin that just walked by too?
I did not see. I guess someone did walk by. Probably. I don't know.
Man.
This is like the Haunting. What's that show called? Not The Haunting. I think it is The Haunting. We're not seeing stuff, but you are.
Oh yeah. Give us a heads up if there's something behind us. Or something.
I could have sworn.
You're gonna see me shoot out a screen like that.
I could have sworn Kevin was photobombing for just a second.
We're over at his house.
Yeah, we're at his house. I'm sure it was my dad.
Maybe.
So that Stephen Antonio said that he met you guys at an Oahu wrestling event.
I remember him.
I remember him. What's up, brother?
Yeah, he came to our. I believe it was. One of our first time in Oahu. We just didn't expect the crowd to be how it was, and it was like one of the hottest crowds we've got to work in. And it was the beginning of our career, and it was just
and again, we were expecting like no support whatsoever. We were just like,
we get it. We wrestled in Japan and Texas, but I don't think anybody knows us here. And it was crazy, and how much the fans did like studied and stuff. They knew everything about us. It was so cool.
And so Abel says 50cc. What is that? A lawnmower? Hey, Abel.
I know. It was a lawnmower on the frame of a Harley. He thought it was a terrible buy, and I thought it was a great buy. But I was driving it to the north shore of the island, and I'm not lying. My handlebars rattled off, and I almost got in like a crazy. My Uncle Kerry had his bike accident. That was almost mine right there.
Oh my God!
It was on a 50cc, less cool story.
Way less cool scenario. Though.
Yeah, man, It was a bad buy. My wife talked me into selling it.
I think this will be the last one I bring up from the fans. Richie Dominguez says, "You guys versus the Rhodes would be awesome to watch," and it just makes tons and tons of sense.
Yeah,
we're there with you, man. There was a hashtag on Twitter going around, so
if y'all really want it, let's keep
start bringing that
hashtag
going. Von Erich's versus Rhodes brothers, yeah.
That says a lot of legacy in that. That'd be cool. Our families, it's all we know, it's all they know. We were born into the business, so were they, and so it would be. I
think it needs to happen at some point.
Yeah,
it needs to.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had fun. It was a little bit different of a podcast than probably
the funnest podcast we ever did, man. Thank you so much.
Kept us on our toes the whole time. It was awesome.
You're good at promoting, and you're good at podcasts. So.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that very much. And anything you guys want to leave off here? Final statement, for the fans that are watching.
Until there's live shows again, we really do miss everybody. The shows really are so much different without fans. It's not the same, and I didn't realize how much that we feed off that and how much we love that. But we miss everybody so much. Stay positive during these times. COVID can be depressing and all this stuff, other stuff that's going on right now. Love your neighbor, encourage somebody, and follow us on Twitter, Marshall Von Erich, at Ross Von Erich, and then on Instagram we're at Ram, Ross and Marshall. And thank you so much for having us. And if you want to buy merch, MLWshop.com.
All right, Ross and Marshall, thank you guys so much, man, for coming on the podcast. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you 2021. I think it will happen.
Anytime, my friend. Thank you so much.
You'll see us.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. So that was Ross and Marshall, the Von Erichs, the third generation Von Erichs, and they are a couple of awesome, great guys. And we'll definitely, RCW will bring them back in, as soon as the things clear up. So I did wanted to announce that 2 weeks from today, our next guest on the Remarkable Wrestling Podcast will be the incomparable Gail Kim. That's right. Gail Kim will be our guest 2 weeks from today. The next guest for Remarkable Wrestling Podcast. Love Gail Kim. Love her work. And so it's going to be an awesome podcast that you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss any of these. I mean, they've all been so good. So thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you in 2 weeks with Gail Kim. And hello, everybody. It's time for another edition of the Remarkable Wrestling Podcast. And if you're watching, say hello. Eventually, I do want to film a really cool intro for the Remarkable Wrestling Podcast on 1980 style, where it's like, hey, we're going to be talking about all the collectibles and all the memories and all the stuff that makes us professional wrestling fans. This is such good shit. Look at that little pipsqueak. Look at that from the WWE fan club. Ultimate Warrior wristbands. It was like, you like wrestling? I was like, hell yeah, I do. It was Lumberjack Jim, my made-up wrestler. Think Hacksaw Jim Duggan, just Lumberjack.
Did you use a backbreaker in a fight at Grand Oaks?
He runs a promotion during his lunch break. Dude, that what cracks me up. The Remarkable Wrestling Podcast. What the world is watching.